What's up everyone, my name is Marie, welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video, I'm doing another build in Henford-on-Bagley. I know I've been doing a lot of builds in this world ever since the Cottage Living expansion pack came out, but honestly, I love this world so much. I can't stop building here. Normally what I do, like whenever a new expansion pack comes out, I will do 2 or 3 builds in the new world and then all back to back, and then I will go back to my quote-unquote regular building schedule. I don't really know what to call it, but then after like 2 or 3 builds, I will usually just go back to other worlds and stop building only cottages, for example, in this instance. But yeah, for now, I really wanted to do another build in this world, another cottage inspired world, because I just love this world so much. It's so inspiring and it's just so pretty, and I love the whole building style that we got with this pack, and it's so much fun for me. So I decided that I allowed myself to do one more build in Henford-on-Bagley before going back to the other worlds. Obviously, I will come back to this world later on as well, as I usually do with all of the other worlds too. But yeah, I feel like after this one, I've done like 4 Henford-on-Bagley builds back to back. So after this one, I feel like I need to change it up a little bit and just go back to the other worlds as well, because I've definitely been neglecting the other worlds. But yeah, just the pack is still new and shiny, and I just love it so much, and all the items are so pretty. But yeah, I've explained that 1,000 times already, but yeah, it's fine. It doesn't really matter. I feel like it's like this for a lot of builders with this pack. I feel like a lot of builders love the whole aesthetic of this world so much, and yeah, so do I. It's so calming, and I build in The Sims because I love it. It's my passion and it calms me down. And yeah, it's just a way for me to relax and have fun. And the whole vibe of Henford-on-Bagley really helps with that as well. It's so calming. It's so like fairy tale like and so cozy and cute. So yeah, that's mainly the reason why I love this world so much. And it's so pretty in general. As you can see, this is not a quote-unquote regular cottage. This is a modern cottage, and I know it kind of holds the middle between a suburban and a cottage, but I found this sketch on Pinterest that I used for reference for this build, and that was called a cottage house plan, like a modern cottage house plan. So I figured I could call this a cottage. I kind of used that picture as reference for the facade of the house. I changed it up a little bit, but it looks kind of similar to that. So I figured I could call this a cottage. And yeah, I made it modern. I had a lot of fun with this. I wanted to build something different, something I hadn't done yet in this world. So I figured a modern cottage would be a lot of fun. And as you can see, I'm building it in the Finchwick area, the downtown area of this world. And the lighting for the lots here is a little bit difficult, as you can see, because there's no way to get direct sunlight at the front of the house. And that's a little bit unfortunate, because it makes the homes look so much prettier if you have sunlight directly at the front of the house. But yeah, that's not possible for these lots. That's okay though. I still really love this house. I mean, you could also just build it like in a different orientation, like swap the house, like turn the house around is what I'm trying to say. Like maybe use a different side of the lot to be the front. But yeah, that's just a little bit difficult for gallery pictures and stuff like that. So I just figured I would go with the original orientation of this lot. And then yeah, the sunlight is a little bit of a shame, but it still looks pretty. I still really like the way this house looks. It's still very cozy and cutesy and very inviting in my opinion. But yeah, I was thinking of a little bit of a storyline for this house because it is a very modern cottage and it definitely does not tie in with the rest of the world as much. As you can see, like the surrounding cottages are very traditional, a lot older, and yeah, just more rustic in that sense. And I still wanted this house to fit in with the world storyline wise, so that's how I tried to fix that problem, basically. So what I was thinking, this house, first of all, this house has 2 bedrooms. It has a parent's bedroom, or like a master bedroom downstairs. It has a nursery upstairs. I actually furnished it to be as a nursery with a crib. And then it also has a study upstairs, which you could always turn into a 3rd bedroom. But I gave this house 2 bedrooms, so the parents downstairs and then a nursery. And I was thinking that this house, obviously it was newly built here. And I was thinking of 2 parents, or parents to be actually. And for some reason I was thinking of 2 moms, but it doesn't have to be that way. It could be 2 dads, a mom and a dad, or what have you. It really doesn't matter. But for some reason what came to my mind was 2 moms. And I was thinking that one of these moms, they inherited this very, very old, broken down cottage on this little plot of land in Henford-on-Bagley. And these parents, these moms, this couple, they are probably from a more city-like area, maybe not like full-on San Myshuno, but definitely somewhere a little bit more near to a big city, if that makes sense. And one of these moms inherited this very old cottage from like their great grandma or what have you, and someone passed away in the family, and then she inherited this very, very old rundown cottage in Henford-on-Bagley. And basically the cottage was way too broken down to actually have it fixed. Like, that was just not possible. It was unsafe. They couldn't fix it. They couldn't renovate it. There was no way they could make it livable again. It was so like broken down, almost like just the ruins of a cottage, but just a little bit more than that. And yeah, they couldn't use that house and fix it up because it wouldn't be safe. It would be even more expensive than building something brand new, I was thinking. So that's what they decided to do, because as soon as the couple realized that they inherited this little plot of land in Henford-on-Bagley, they immediately just knew that they wanted to move here, because they thought that this world, this Henford-on-Bagley, this little town was so cute, and they just felt so at home here. It was so serene and so peaceful, and yeah, it was just totally their aesthetic, and they loved it a lot. And they were also thinking of the family that they wanted to start. Like, from the get-go, like, they always knew that they wanted to have a child. So that's one of their biggest dreams, and they thought that Henford-on-Bagley would be such a nice place for their future child to just grow up in the countryside, and it would just be so peaceful and so nice. And yeah, basically they just fell in love with this little plot of land, and then they decided that they were going to just break down the old like ruins of the cottage that was still here. They would just break it all down and build something brand new. So that's what they did. So they went ahead and built this cottage. They still wanted it to be a cottagey style, obviously, because that just fits in with this whole area. So they wanted it to be a cottage, but they also wanted it to be modern, because that's just what they love. That's their style. That's what they wanted to go for. So they decided to basically just have the whole thing bulldozed, and I was thinking that they did embrace some of the original aspects of this house. So for example, these little rounded windows that I used, mainly in the front and on the side of the house, these little rounded windows, I think they're from Get to Work. I was thinking that these are the original windows. They were able to actually save these windows and like completely refurbish them. Obviously, they put new glass in them, and they basically just refurbished the frames and painted them black, and they used those original windows for their new house. So that's what they did, for example. And I was also thinking that the only thing that they could actually reuse, if that's what you want to call it, from the original cottage that was here was the foundation. So They used the original foundation. Obviously, they needed to patch it up and fix it. But yeah, they used the original foundation that was already there, and then they just built a new cottage there. So the whole like shape of the house is actually identical to the original shape of the original cottage that was here. The only thing they did do was obviously they changed up the floor plan a little bit. But I was thinking that they also probably would have used the original floor plan for reference, like for this house. So probably like the kitchen would have been in the same spot, but maybe it was a little bit smaller or something like that. But yeah, they went with the original foundation of the house, but they did add a second floor because there was no second floor. This cottage originally did not have a second floor. So they added a second floor because obviously they needed a little bit more space. Also thinking of the family that they wanted to start in the future. So they wanted to have at least one more bedroom and then one more option for a third bedroom if need be. So that's what they did. And yeah, they decided to put the master bedroom downstairs, and then there is a nursery upstairs and a study or like a workspace or an office upstairs as well. And the house also has 2 bathrooms because originally, obviously, a small cottage like this would only have 1 bathroom. I feel like that's how it is with bigger homes as well when they're a little bit older. They would usually probably have only 1 bathroom, but obviously because this house, they made it a little bit bigger and they added a second floor. So they decided to put another bathroom upstairs as well. So there are 2 bathrooms in this house and then 2 or maybe 3 bedrooms. So yeah, that's basically the storyline that I had in mind for this cottage. So yeah, these 2 women, they just built this brand new cottage, and as you can see, it is quite modern, but at the same time, a little bit more on the rustic side. For example, for the kitchen, I used the cabinets from Jungle Adventure, and they obviously look a little bit more modern, but they're also still kind of rustic and, well, not quite traditional looking, but yeah, I don't really know what else to call them other than modern and also a little bit more rustic. So that's what I'm going with, I guess. But yeah, as you can see, they also used a lot of exposed brick. I was thinking that they could probably save some of the old bricks from the original cottage, and they could actually reuse a lot of the bricks from that cottage. So that's what they did. But obviously, as you can see, they freshly painted the bricks, and they didn't really go with any like wallpaper or wall paint to make it look too crisp and modern. They still wanted there to be like exposed brick and stuff like that. There are some accent walls with wallpaper in this house. For example, in the living room, I used an accent wall, or I used the wallpaper from Paranormal Stuff for an accent wall in the living room. And I thought that was really cute because that wallpaper is kind of modern, but also kind of like vintage, or yeah, just older looking, but it also really works in combination with modern homes, in my opinion. I really enjoy combining modern furniture with more traditional furniture pieces, or like little details and stuff like that, because for example, I used these sectional couches in the living room, but then I also used the new chair that we got with the Cottage living pack, which obviously is a way more traditional, but they combine very, very nicely. And the same goes for the end table where I placed the TV. That end table, I used the end table from Cottage Living, which again, honestly, is a lot more rustic than it is modern, but combined with the rest of the furniture for this house, I don't really know how to explain it, but it kind of makes sense to have these more modern pieces combined with the more rustic pieces, because these women, they just really wanted to embrace the original vibe of this whole place, like of this old cottage. They really wanted to embrace it. They really wanted to bring back some of the original aspects without it being too old and outdated for their taste. So they are obviously they like a lot more like modern furniture, but yeah, they try to find a middle ground between modern and traditional, I think. For example, I also used the doors, like indoors, I used the doors from Cottage Living, which are also a lot more rustic. But then again, I was thinking that these were probably the original doors that they were able to save and refurbish. So yeah, that's what they did. And yes, this house has a very like unique style in that way, like a very unique ambiance, if that's how you can say it. I don't really know. I'm trying to explain the best I can here. I hope this little storyline makes sense, but I just had so much fun thinking about it as I was building this cottage. Like, it was so much fun to me for some reason. And as you can see, I also went for a very gray and black and white color scheme in here to make it look more modern. But then I also used the bricks on the floor from the, what's it called? Country kitchen kit, which are a lot more traditional, but just everything combines so nicely in my opinion. And yeah, I had so much fun with it. And I love the bricks from, the bricks on the wall from Cottage Living. I think they're so beautiful. I love the swatches. They're so subtle and just very beautiful, very neutral. I love it so much. But yeah, like I already explained, I actually furnished a nursery upstairs because as of right now, like honestly, storyline wise, this couple, they probably finished this house a couple years ago and they have been living here for some years now. And now they are expecting their first child. And so that is very exciting for them. So I decided to go ahead and furnish a nursery instead of furnishing a bedroom for a toddler. I don't know. I just really felt like furnishing a nursery because it's just so cutesy and fun and something a little bit different because I don't always do that. I usually go for toddler bedrooms because honestly, babies in The Sims, they're babies for like 2 days. And then they become toddlers. So a toddler bedroom is way more useful to have than a nursery. It's not that usable, a nursery, but still a lot of fun to furnish and just very cute. So that's what I went ahead and did because I was thinking that one of the moms, she is actually pregnant with their first baby. And yeah, as you can see, I also furnished this, this office because I didn't really think about the jobs that the moms would have. I don't really know, but I was definitely thinking that one of the moms works from home full time. So I gave them this nice office, which furniture-wise is a lot more modern. I used the furniture from Dream Home Decorator, as you can see, to kind of create a makeshift work area or like desk space with a lot of storage space around it as well. So that's very modern, but I was just thinking that one of the moms just definitely needs that for their job. Like maybe they are a full-time writer or like a copywriter or like a journalist of some sort. I don't really know, but they are probably a freelance something. They have like a freelance job. And they work from home full time. So that's why I furnished an office. But as I already explained, you could always turn the office into a third bedroom if you needed to. And that's what the moms had in mind as well, because they didn't really think that they would ever have more than one kid, but like you never know. So they still wanted the option to be there. But they always kind of dreamed of having one child and just be a family of 3. But yeah, you just, like I said, you never know what happens. Things might change. They might want to have another baby at some point. So yeah, they wanted the option to be there. And honestly, gameplay wise, it's nice to have that option always. Because for gameplay, like, a full-on like home office is nice, but you don't really need it. You could also just place a laptop on the dining table, for example, and then your Sims would be set as well to do work on the computer, so it doesn't really matter. But storyline-wise, I thought it would be fun to actually give one of the moms a full-on office. Yeah, you could always just get rid of that. And here you can see we have the second bathroom upstairs. The bathroom downstairs has a tub and the bathroom upstairs only has a shower. I wanted there to be a tub because I was thinking of this family having a baby, which at some point will be a toddler, so you might want to have a tub. So I figured I could place a tub downstairs and then a shower upstairs. So you have both options, which I don't know, I just thought it was really nice. And I also included stuff for a cat. The only thing I forgot initially was a litter box, But before I placed it on the gallery, I actually placed a litter box on the landing area. So there is a litter box included in this house, no worries there. But I was definitely thinking that this family would have a cat because I just thought it was really cute. So I included stuff for a cat as well. And then the backyard is very small because this is only a 20 by 15 lot. So it is really, really small, and the house is not that small, so it takes up most of the lot. But I did decide to give them a couple of gardening plots, as you can see, because maybe one of the moms or both of the moms are very much into gardening as a hobby. So they do have a couple of plots there, and for the rest of the backyard, it's nothing crazy. I just placed a nice couch where they can hang out and a picnic table so that they can have like dinner outside if the weather is nice. And yeah, also an outdoor bin, obviously. And for the rest, I just put a little bit of landscaping around, and I also spent a lot of time on terrain paint. Actually, I didn't record all of that, but I had a lot of fun with all of my homes in this world. Actually, I keep having fun with the terrain paint for some reason, which is not something that I particularly like always, but for some reason in this world, I think it's a lot of fun. But that is already going to be it for this build. So let's go ahead and check it out in the game. So here we have the house in the game. As you can see, the lighting situation is a little bit difficult for this lot, but it's fine. It still looks cute in my opinion. As you can see with the landscaping, I didn't go too overboard because I was thinking that this house was kind of recently built. I didn't want the landscaping to be too excessive, but there are definitely some plants around because I did want to try and tie it in with the rest of the world, obviously. In the back, they have this little porch situation, which as you can see is very small, but I did place a little couch here, and they have a nice picnic table with a basket on it and a couple of gardening plots right here, as you can see. But then when we go inside, we have this very small entryway with just a little end table where you can store like your shoes and stuff like that. And there's a coat rack here. And honestly, it's very small, as you can see. And then we have the downstairs bathroom. This one has a tub only, which is not something I really ever do. But I really wanted to include one of the very pretty modern tubs from Dream Home Decorator. I thought it would just fit this house perfectly. And off to the right, we have the master bedroom. So this is the parents' bedroom. It's quite modern, very black and white and gray. But then they have this very like warm colored brick on the wall, and this little accent wall with wallpaper from Paranormal Stuff. I thought that was really cute. They have a very small like modular dresser over there, and yeah, for the rest, it kind of just speaks for itself. And then over here we have the living area. As you can see, the floor plan is pretty closed off. The kitchen is in a different room, which is not the most like modern thing that you can do. But I figured since these Sims were definitely trying to stay true to the original vibe of this cottage, they just decided to go for a more closed off floor plan to make it modern but still like rustic at the same time. But here we have the living area with a very spacious modular couch. I just had the perfect little corner right here to fit in a modular couch. So that's what I went ahead and did. I combined it with this more traditional looking chair from Cottage Living, which makes total sense in my opinion. And then here we have the end table with the TV. They only have a small TV because I figured these people probably don't watch TV that often, so they don't really need a big TV. And I also didn't really want to block this whole window with a huge TV. Like that's just, I don't really like how that looks usually. And then over here we have a little bookcase and a door to the back porch. And then over here we have the kitchen like I already showed you. But in here it's also very gray and black and white, rustic and modern at the same time, which this fridge is just perfect for. It has the exact vibe that I was trying to go for this kitchen. So I'm so happy with this new fridge. I cluttered up the kitchen a little bit, not too much, but I really love that we got a more modern version of these little pots that we got with Cottage Living. I love this like black and brown swatch. It's so modern and so usable. And the same goes for this little like picture thing as well. And then we have a dining table over here with a couple of dining chairs from Dream Home Decorator. Once again, I used a lot of Dream Home Decorator in this house, but it was perfect for this build. So yeah, a very light and bright kitchen. And then when we go upstairs, we have the landing area. My playtester sim is just hanging out here too. But yeah, here we have the litter box. Like I explained, I forgot to place the litter box initially, but then I remembered and placed it over here on the landing area. Then here we have the upstairs bathroom. This one has a shower, and for the rest, it has the exact same furniture items as the one downstairs, so nothing crazy going on here. Then over here, we have the office area, and for some reason, whenever I load into this house, it keeps deleting the computer and the chair. I don't know what's up with that, so they may be gone when you place this house in your game. They were here when I uploaded the house though, so they might be there, but they also might not be there. But this is what it's supposed to look like. I placed a computer and a chair from Dream Home Decorator. So yeah, this is what it should be. And then off of this study, we have a very tiny little balcony with just a chair and a plant. And then there is another very tiny balcony over here as well. And then we have the nursery over here. I love this nursery. I think it's so cute. I wasn't gonna use this wallpaper, but then I just couldn't help myself and I used it anyway. So yeah, the bunny wallpaper is in here, and I created a little makeshift changing table with a chair and yeah, just a crib obviously and a nice little plant. And that's all you need for a nursery really, but it's a quite spacious bedroom. So when the kid grows up to be a child, you still have more than enough room to give them a nice bedroom with some toys as well. But yeah, that's actually it for this house. So this modern cottage is up on the gallery, and it comes in at just over 50,000 simoleons. So I feel like it's not too expensive. I mean, obviously it's not a starter home, but that's not what it was supposed to be either. So yeah, I feel like you could easily save up for that. It's not too difficult, but if you want to download it, it is up on the gallery. But that is actually it for this video. So I really hope that you enjoyed this build. You can obviously go ahead and download it off the gallery like I just showed you. My username on the gallery is Simmarysims. You can also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram if you'd like. My username on there is Simmarysims as well. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so. And if you want to be notified of every single time I upload a video, just click that little bell icon and you should be fine. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next build. Bye!